on a cot inside a county jail. I'm crying. I'm scared. I'm just been told that like I got $1 million bail.
You never know where life's going to take you, but you'll meet some cool people along the way. Each person has their own story, and each moment is precious. So enjoy the moments and enjoy the journey. Only on the Dom Jackson Experience. Thank you so much for being on the show. First of all,
Thank you for having me.
Chip is my very first mentor in the fitness game. So this is a big deal right here.
Yeah, it is. It brings back a lot of memories.
Yeah,
I don't know if I might share your first nickname too. I don't even remember it.
Which one? Because I had a lot of them. So
you did the very first one I gave you though.
Not Snuffleupagus.
Snuffleupagus. Snuffleupagus.
Oh man.
Yeah. With the enunciation.
Yeah, it was.
My goodness. And allergies.
It was some rough times, man. The growth you've seen from day one to now, the growth of what I've done is you've definitely one of the big factors of it.
I appreciate that, man. It's been a pleasure. It's definitely been a journey though.
Oh, absolutely.
We miss you every day. Every day we miss you. Demo Dom. Second nickname. We got 1 million of them.
Oh man. Oh, we had some good times, man.
Yes, sir.
Some good times.
Yes, sir.
So Chip, I wanted to have you on the show because, before we met and got into, our your ventures at Get Chip Fit and Fast in the fitness space, you've had so many other ventures before that. And, I wanted to go over what some of your background was as an entrepreneur, your upbringing, like your comic book one origin story of who you are as a person.
Okay. So right off the bat, although I was accepted into college, both Drexel and Temple, for engineering, they were 5-year co-op programs. And I had a burning desire to get out and start making some money ASAP after high school. So I ended up going to a 2-year tech school, Lincoln Technical Institute. That program that I attended is now defunct. They're still around. They do like medical stuff. But I came out of that. While in Lincoln Tech, I was fortunate to get a job with a company. So I was able to start working full time, and I switched to going to school at nighttime. So it took me a little bit longer to finish up. But when I did finish up, I was employed for a company called Control Data. I worked on money processing equipment, like the movie Scarface with the currency counters. So I was a technician repairing that type of equipment. So I have a technical background. I got married young at 21, had my first house at 21, and I needed to make more money. So I went out and started interviewing, and I worked for a Fortune 500 company called Brandt Incorporated. And there is where I really cut my teeth and learned, business. I had a mentor there, a gentleman by the name of Lee Garrett. He took me under his wing. He heard a story during my interview of me being a captain on a basketball team. So he felt as though I had leadership qualities and capabilities. And not too long into that gig, I was promoted. I was running a technical group area. I was a technical group leader. And then I was promoted again to Eastern Regional Service Manager. So I now had an office right next to Lee. I was a direct report of his. He's the vice president of National Product Service, or was, for the company. So I learned so much from him. And that's one of the reasons, Dom, why I try to mentor others, because I was mentored. And I felt as though like it's my duty and obligation to take what I've learned through my experiences, successes and failures, and help others who have a desire to become the best version of themselves. So I had 2 years under my belt there. I hit a glass ceiling, but I did learn a skill set from Lee. He asked me a question. I think he asked me 2 questions. He asked me, I think it was more like, do I want to motivate others. And kind of like the second question was, do I know how to do it? Right. So yes, it was, I do want to motivate others. Do I know how to do it? I gave him some answers. And the bottom line was I really didn't. So he taught me a skill set called performance management, which is all about R plus, positive reinforcement, setting goals that are challenging but attainable, measuring the performance of those goals and helping people elevate their performance. So that foundational skill set has helped me throughout my entrepreneurial career. It's helped me for my personal goals as well as directing and leading and motivating others to help them become their best. So it was invaluable. And I learned it from him every night for almost 2 years. I stayed after work from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. in his office with his whiteboard and the book called Performance Management R Plus. And he taught me this skill set. And I'm forever indebted because it started the transformation in my life. I went from being kind of a young know-it-all kid to becoming a responsible adult and understanding, my passions and what I could do to fulfill them.
Wow, fulfilling your passions.
So I launched into my entrepreneurial career when I left there. Started with a company, car alarm and car stereo business called Safe and Sound. Because I have a technical background, it was simple. It was easy for me to move into car stereo installation, window tint, and all that. Put in the first car phone, a blah punk car phone into a Mercedes Benz, tore it up, jacked it up, cut the trim, cracked the windshield. It was a nightmare. I'm self-taught. But from that, we end up getting, we elevated the performance and the quality of what we do, and we able to get car dealerships and tons of customers. I end up opening up 3 locations. So that is where I cut my teeth in learning how to do for self and be an entrepreneur. And and I was on a good ride, and I always had a desire to work in sports. So I had the brainstorm idea to create a basketball entertainment company. You're young, so I don't know if you remember a 3-on-3 tournament back in the day called Hoop It Up. They're making a resurgence now with Kevin Garnett as kind of the spokesperson, but Hoop It Up was the 3-on-3 tournament back in my day. And I played in the tournament. We were able to win, and we went to Vegas and played in a championship series there. But my experience with that led me to want to create my own basketball entertainment company. So we created Hoop City, because Hoop It Up was great, but it never went into our area, or the hood. It went to Cherry Hill instead of Camden. And I say Cherry Hill because that's where Dom's from. So Hoop City was going to be the company, the entertainment company that went into urban areas and provided not only basketball entertainment, but after school mentoring and tutoring. I wanted to have my own facility for like a pay to play type of concept, which was popular at the time in Atlanta, called Run and Shoot. I was able to go down there, play, meet the owner. He gave me the blueprint on how to do it. So we were diligently working on that. And I stumbled across the opportunity to buy a basketball team, a semi-pro basketball team in a league now defunct called the USBL. And we had a team in Philadelphia called the Philadelphia Power, who played at Drexel University. I think this is like 96. And the Tribune, Philadelphia Tribune, wrote me up as the first African-American owner of a sports franchise. That ruffled the feathers of some of the more tenured basketball legends in Philly. And so I met resistance from the beginning, because I guess they felt as I wasn't paying my due respect. I didn't write the article. The Tribune wrote the article. But I got a lot of publicity. I had a great PR person. Her name's Rashida Perry. If you're looking for PR, she's still doing it. And she got me on, like, at the time, Comcast had a show called Comcast Sportsnet, kind of like a precursor to the ESPN of today. I was on that. I was on Visions with Vernon Odom, popular Philadelphia show that highlighted minority businesses and entrepreneurs. Wiley Kennedy talk show. So I got my 5 minutes of fame in the paper, everything. That purchase of the franchise was the money pit. I ended up losing about $500,000, and everything went downhill. Lost my house, got divorced, was damn near homeless for a period of time, and honestly, I wasn't built for it. I didn't know how to deal with that type of adversity, that type of challenge. I thought I did. I thought I had enough wisdom and maturity, but quickly it was proven to me that I didn't, because I went down the wrong path, and started doing things I shouldn't do and had no business doing. And I was breaking the law, and I ended up getting caught. And I did a 37-month bid in the federal penitentiary, for white collar crimes, but they're crimes. And I had victims, and I probably ruined a couple of lives with what I did. So I was sat down, God sat me down, and I had to take a hard look at the man in the mirror. And I didn't like who I saw. So I had a choice to make: either change or stay the same. It's pretty simple. It's not that profound, right? When you meet an obstacle, you're either going to push through it or you're going to let the resistance stop you. So I decided to start looking at myself, and took a hard, deep look at myself, and decided that I wanted to make some changes. So I became a voracious reader, all about self-development, personal development, read everything that was out there. And one thing that scared me, Dom, when I was looking at my current state and I started understanding the criminal justice system, I became aware of a word that I didn't know, and the definition of the word, that recidivism.
Recidivism?
Recidivism.
I don't know what that word is.
Yeah. So recidivism is in the criminal justice realm, it's the likelihood of you repeating or coming back. In other words, when convicts leave jail, the COs always say, "I'll see you again," because the likelihood of them being a repeat offender is extremely high, like over 70%.
Wow.
Because the criminal justice system isn't about changing anything.
It's not.
And even if you talk about rehabilitation, to rehab something means to take it back to its original state. You break your leg, you rehab it, you go back to how your leg was. Well, if the leg was jacked up to begin with, right? If you had a bad leg to begin with, you're gonna go back to having a bad leg. So rehab, if you're already, your mindset isn't one of being a productive member of society, if it's about scheming and dealing, and if it's about, getting over on people, well, rehabilitation is not going to change that. What you have to do is look at transformation. So I wanted to transform myself. I didn't want to rehab myself. I didn't want to go back to being that individual that perpetuated the crimes that got me into place to begin with. Make sense?
It does.
So that's where the process began. So when I came out, I was 37 years old when I got knocked. I was old. I was an old head in there, the first time being incarcerated, all these young kids, and that was a trip. Being tested and everything else. So when I came home at the age of 40, it gave me opportunity to start all over again. And fortunately, I came home. There were a lot of things that set up for me to be successful, to win. Like I was able to come home to my parents' house, but I was able to come home to a place, where I knew that I was going to be able to, eat, sleep, and have support. So I did that and started working again, and everything kind of started falling into place for me. And the entrepreneurial desires sparked back up again. and I got into health and wellness, and I've been here ever since.
What 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 made you pick health and wellness as the next place for you to go?
Well, first, I think it was mostly about, the choices, right? So when you're incarcerated and you come home and you have a record, it's very hard to get a job,
Hmm.
right? Like that's tattooed on you, okay? Even to this day. And it's the first time I'm actually speaking about it publicly. And, people who see this are going to probably be very surprised. People in my close circle are going to be surprised because it's not something that I, up to this point, really talked about. But I think it's necessary, and I'll touch on that in a minute. Why? But I got into health and wellness mainly because an old high school friend of mine owned a gym, a Gold's Gym,
Mm.
and he gave me the opportunity to start working for him. And I worked the front desk, checking people in, cleaning the bathroom, uh, doing whatever it took. And quickly, I have I don't know, I guess it's my personality to take ownership of things. So I started treating that gym as if it was my gym. And I introduced myself to all the members. I went above and beyond what my job description was. I came in earlier, I stayed later. I did anything and everything to help the growth of that particular gym. And luck and timing and skill and opportunity, right? Like those things, when they come together the right way, that's how you become successful. So I worked on my skill, waited for the opportunity, and then a little luck and timing took place. The general manager went out on a maternity leave. She pregnant. So I raised my hand and said, now I had managerial experience, so it was easy for me to show what I could do. And next thing I know, I'm running the joint. Created a personal training department, built up the juice bar into a lucrative profit center. Um, just got the whole culture changed within the gym. We grew by leaps and bounds, membership acquisition, retention, renewals. I mean, everything to, put more money into the coffers, which then in turn helped me make more money. But the juice bar piece became intriguing to me, and I end up creating and launching my own juice bars inside of fitness facilities. I had a company called Body Blends. But I think that what gravitated me towards health and wellness, Dom, was it showed me a direct path on how I can correct some of the wrongs and right some of my errors that I made and the people that I hurt. It showed me a way that I can help people, directly. I can help them, feel better, move better, lose weight. It was definitely, I think, selfish in the beginning. There were selfish reasons why I got involved with health and wellness.
Hmm.
It was a way for me to, you know, I did my restitution, right? I paid money back, but I still didn't feel whole, you know? So, and I grew up, I'm a PK. I grew up in the church. My father's a minister. So there were a lot of things that were at the core of me that made me realize that I had a lot more work to do, that I had to continue to repay this debt. That's how I felt at the time. So that's what made me get into health and wellness.
Got it. I got it. The health and wellness was a good way for you to a fast way based on what you were feeling to kind of get your redemption in a sense to help the internally and externally with helping people. I like that.
Yeah.
I also like what you said. You said to get the skill, the luck, and then the opportunity.
Yeah. So success is about luck and timing and skill and opportunity. You know, it's when all those things come together at the right time. So you always have to be prepared. It's always about preparation. You have to be ready for the opportunity. That's the skill set. So you have to work on the skill set. So when the opportunity arises, you can show that. But usually it's luck and timing that put you in a place to show the skill set to have that opportunity, you know? So it's always about hard work. It's about what you do in the dark that shows out in the light. It's about the grind, what people don't see. And a lot of people say, oh, overnight success. Yeah, 20 years, 20 years overnight, So, um, and you're proof to that. You're proof to how, once you determine what it is that you want to do and mature a little bit and then go after it. I always think about, you and I had 2 encounters, right?
We did.
So
We can put that story out there too. Actually, I've never actually talked about that one in public.
you ain't
either,
talking about that one. You ain't talking about me firing you. Yeah. So, you came to me real green, still in college, not really knowing what you want to do, and you ain't know what you stepped into. This crazy guy demanding all this stuff of you, forcing you to do things that you weren't comfortable with, right? Teaching the ropes. And I try to do it just through example. You saw my grind. You saw what time I came in. You saw what time I left. You saw how I interacted with people. Hopefully you saw how to run, a business somewhat successfully. But like Kevin Hart says, ooh, you wasn't ready.
I wasn't. It definitely was one of those things that it wasn't until there was just a lot of between being young and just thinking I know everything, and then learning, and then being like the learning and the process of it taking time to hit me. Because like once I got done with you and I went over to Metro and I realized I had to do everything myself, it was like I was like, oh, like a lot of things clicked. I was like, oh, this makes a lot more sense now. But it wasn't until I was thrown out into the wolves I was like, oh well,
yeah.
I really had to grow in the depth. So, and a lot of things you showed me, like I still use now. Like I'm still, basically internalize a lot of things you showed me. So I really, like I said, I really appreciate that always. But when I came back from round 2, it was a good redemption.
It was on and popping then, So you came back, the prodigal son returned home. And you came back a different person. Like I said, you went through a maturation process when you went out. It's different when, you're being fed and when you gotta go out and eat, when dinner's being served or when you gotta go kill it. Like it opens up your eyes to a lot of things, right? So you were out there, killing your food for a while, and you came back with a new skill set, and you were definitely more open to learning and more receptive, and you were just ready to, to do some things. So, we had a good run. I was extremely sad to see you go, but I'm extremely proud of you stepping out and really stepping out, going away, going, across the country. So, that's just accolade to you and what you were able to do, and you're still growing. So, and I'm happy to have a little piece of that. It makes me proud to have a little part of the Dom Jackson experience. So
I appreciate that, Chip, because I definitely a big part of the story, man.
Yep.
What I wanted to talk about too is when we were first working to get Chip Fit inside the warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
Us going back to just going there, no heat in the winter, no AC in the summer, just in all day grinding, man. I think. Then I also like one of the other things that I think bring a lot of value to people was, just that, like you told me, like, before I left, you said it to me that consistency is everything.
Yes.
From the training standpoint to the business standpoint, consistency is what it really is all about. Do you feel like that's something, like with the wisdom you've gotten throughout the years of being in business, that's probably a big factor, but do you have one moment that you think that really kind of the knobs turned for you that made you realize that consistency was really the biggest thing?
Yeah, definitely. It was when I was faced with a moment of adversity that, the warehouse, that space, that box, I ran out of time on the lease, and it didn't look like I was going to be able to stay there, just because the owner was selling, and it was a lot of transition, a lot of moving pieces that were out of my control. So I had built up a business, and it looked like I was going to lose the house where we ran the business through. And I put it out there to an individual, my angel investor. And, he told me that he had the investment for me to go out and open up a studio. And I'm telling you, that moment when that phone call was made and I was able to raise the capital, everything just came back to me in terms of, I had success early on, in my 20s. I had a lot of success, maybe too much too quick, and I didn't really appreciate it. And I might have been of the mindset that I deserved it for whatever reason, right? You call it cockiness, confidence, whatever you want. But I was stripped of everything. I mean, when I came home from prison, I had nothing. My parents had to take me to the Cherry Hill Mall to get an outfit. I had no clothes. I had nothing, right? What I had in storage was sold off, because no one could make the payments on it anymore. I mean, I came home destitute. So to rebuild and get to the point where now I'm going to have an opportunity to open up a studio and open up the right way, have the capital to do so. I mean, I broke out in tears. I mean, literally, I was crying. And I realized that grind, coming home and getting into health and wellness and staying true to the game, learning everything that I could learn, becoming the best trainer that I could be. First of all, being the best employee that I can be, right? And then, working on my skill set as an entrepreneur and open up a juice bar and end up having 3 locations and doing all these things showed me that, consistency is key. But it's also about commitment. In the training industry, we talk to clients and we say, you got to give me the 3 C's, right? You got to commit, be consistent, and be coachable, right? If you want to be successful, that's what you got to do. You got to commit, you got to be consistent, and got to be coachable. But that's really in life. Like, I'm still learning, right? I'm still reading, just ordered a whole bunch of new books, after talking to one of my peers in the industry and his knowledge and his skill set. He gave me a list of 6 books that I need to buy and read. I ordered the first 2. Always learning, so I'm always coachable. You got to be coachable, but you have to commit and you have to be consistent.
That is facts. The 3 C's, yeah. Man. 3 C's.
The 3 C's, baby.
Super important.
Yeah.
Do you so with FAST right now, mm-hmm. That being like the current venture that you're in, do you with the pandemic, that was a whole new set of changes and alterations you had to make for focus on new adversity for you to face and focus on the 3 C's.
Challenges.
There we go. How was that process for you as a business owner? What was that, your mindset shift then?
Eye-opening. So one thing that I realized early on, once I kind of went through this transformation and realized that, it's difficult to do things by yourself, man. You need support, right? You always need support. And I was very fortunate prior to the pandemic of, taking on having a partner, Vic. So I really don't think that I would have gotten through the pandemic without Victoria. Like, we wouldn't have survived, because that, first of all, it was always a confidence in her that she gave to me that we're going to get through. Then it was her own skill sets and ability to generate revenue, start doing things online, the transition. I mean, every video that you see for the business is Coach Chip and Coach Vic. Like, you know what I mean? You're going to see us together in everything, right? Even the demo video on our website is me training her. So like, we're kind of joined at the hip. And so that support and having a partner that you can count on and trust and rely on proved true to being able to get through, probably the worst time that we know of, right? In our lifespan, like currently, like this pandemic was, man, it hit everybody over the head, but it hit the fitness industry particularly hard, right? We were shut down, ordered to shut down. So fortunately, we always thought ahead of the curve a little bit. We had ring lights and webcams, and we understood Zoom, and we were able to, like, in 2 days, start providing virtual classes in an attempt to retain membership. So people went from being in the studio live, 8 to 10 people in the class running through a circuit style group training, to now doing things at home. And there was Vic in front of the camera, every class, going through every workout, and me in the background, hype people up, correcting form, doing whatever. So there was that partnership again that just evolved into this new thing, right? So we were able to be dynamic and fluid. And, we held on for a while with that, and we're able to, keep membership based. But soon, that kind of wore out, right? For everybody, the participants and the coaches. It was like Zoom gloom, baby. It was like, meet me in the Zoom room. It was like, then it became Zoom gloom. Oh my God, another Zoom session. So, we had to pivot again, and we looked at what we're passionate about. For Victoria, it's nutrition. And so we invested in certifications to make sure that, she had the best nutritional base that's out there. And we did that. And she quickly just hit the ground running with that. For me, as you can't tell, I have the gift of gab. I like to talk. I like to motivate others. And I feel I have a story to tell, and I feel as though my story will help others. And that's why I'm sharing it today. Like, I think it's important for people to know, when they know you've been through some shit, excuse my French, you become a little more authentic. You become a little more authentic, right? Like, I've been through some stuff, man. And like everybody, but I think that through that stuff, I learned a lot. And now I want to give the benefit of that to help people maybe not have to go through so much stuff, how to either prevent it or get out of it a lot quicker than I did. And definitely not have to go down the rabbit hole as deep as I did and lose your freedom and your way of life. Like, I can never even explain. Anybody who's been locked up and in jail understands what I'm talking about. It's, when you get released from prison, they talk about going back to the world. Like going back. So it is a whole different world when you're incarcerated. You become a number, not a person. And I'm not trying to say that because, to be a victim, hell, I had victims, so, where I was at is where I was supposed to be at that time. And I definitely believe that it was in the cards, man. Like, it was either that or at the rate I was going, I could easily wound up dead. I was getting into a lot of stuff. So, so the pandemic, man, it challenged us, right? But it changed us. For those who have come through it on the other side and that are still standing, you're different. Like, there's no way you can come through that and be the same. No way. So much like any virus does to, with people, right? They talk about the at-risk ones that, the unfortunate amount of people that died from COVID, right? Like, because a lot of them were at risk because of pre-existing conditions, right? Well, shit, COVID did the same thing to entrepreneurs with pre-existing conditions. Okay?
It did.
Wipe them out. So if you had a pre-existing condition of a poor work ethic, not being true to the game, lack of commitment and consistency, or just straight lazy, COVID wiped you out, right?
It did.
So, you know, so our work prior to COVID allowed us and afforded us the opportunity to, you know, give this thing another shot. So in a couple of weeks, you know, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut opened back up 100%. I think the 19th. We're not ready for that as a studio, not even close, because of all the pivoting that we had to do. We have a whole different revenue stream now. Like, we're not scrambling, we're strategizing on how to reopen. But we're going to reopen better than when we closed. We're going to have better services, more experience, better tools to help people become the best version of themselves. And we're coming out with a whole new mission. We have a whole different purpose and vision. Like, our mission has expanded, like blown up, you know? So if we can hold true to that, we're going to elevate ourselves and then help elevate others. You know, a rising tide raises all ships. So we're coming out stronger. You know, it's scary as hell. AF. It's scary AF. Like, straight up. It really is. Because you don't know, right? Like, who knows what the landscape of fitness is going to be now?
Yeah.
The experts can talk about it, the hybrid model, the in-person and the online. Nobody knows. Nobody knows, you know? But that's part of the excitement, you know? Because if you can navigate this thing now, it might be a little bit of an ego trip, right? It might be. It feels good to know that, man, I'm still here, we're still here, and we're actually talking about what we're going to do next. You know? So that ain't too bad. And I think it's a testament to what we've done collectively as business owners and individually as people. And our core values, you know, I mean, you know, good recognizes good, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, if you really are that dude or that woman that, you know, is about helping others, I think that karma, universal law, God, whatever you want to call it, right, will always make sure that, you know, you're in the right place at the right time.
I agree.
Right?
It all works out in the end if you put you said the skill, the luck and the opportunity, and, you know, with good intent. With good intent, because you could do that the wrong way, end up in the wrong place too. But if you get what you put out there.
Yeah, I definitely wound up in the wrong damn place. There was some nice dime, and I was like in the middle of doing my due. I was like, how the hell did I get here? Like, how did I end up here? Like, this ain't even me. But it was at that moment, right? So it really was, man. But shit, that I don't think, you know, who knows, but I don't think that I would change anything. You know, I don't think that I would change the time. First of all, it was a short bid, right? I mean, I got friends that are still inside. You know, I've come out and I've met people who've done 4 times, 5 times the amount of time that I did. I did a light bid, man. You know, 3 years. Yeah, is this significant? It was 3 years I was away from my son. I only spoke to him on the phone, didn't see him. It was 3 years that then multiplied in many years after of repairing relationships of people that I hurt, relationships that I damaged. Some were unsalvageable. You know, so the residual effect of what I did was much more significant than the 37 months that I did away. You know? But it motivates me now every day. You know? Yeah, I still get excited when I open the door up and walk out, or have a key to open the door to get in. Like, think about it. I couldn't do that for 3 years.
Wow. I didn't
Get in the
think
car,
about
start it up, and drive down the road and not have any destination in sight.
Wow. I didn't even think about that. That's big.
Yeah, man. Freedom is big. Freedom is big. And then once you understand what you lost, when you get it back, man, it's like a newfound, it's like this energy boost. It's like, man, you feel like a superhero. Like there ain't nothing you can't do. You know, especially if you spent the time down the right way. You know, I came out with a plan, you know, I did the right things inside eventually. You know, I learned the hard way. A couple of times in the shoe, which is solitary confinement. You know, I had to go to the hole a couple of times. You know, because I had my own way. So, but you learn, man. You learn without having to really get broken down. You learn the way to navigate. You know, so. But man, that was a transformative period in my life. So
with that transformation that you've gone through the bid, COVID-19, being a coach, your whole entire mindset, is such a big thing with you and how you've become it. And you talking about your next venture of mindset helping and coaching with that. How is that set up? What's that like for you right now?
All right. So now I'm looking at a new launch of a program called Get Up. I'm big into acronyms, right? Okay. Get Chip Fit, the CHIP. My nickname was Complete Health Improvement Programs. The CHIP. FAST and FAST 3.0 is Functional Anaerobic Strength Training. 3.0, 30 minutes to three pillars. I mean, everything in the name for me makes sense. For Get Up, it's goals established to unlock your potential, GETUP, setting goals to establish goals established to unlock your potential. So what I want to do through course instruction, online consultation, one-on-one, is in group, is help people who have either currently going through some adversity and don't know what to do, or coming off of like major losses, and setbacks and hurdles, and teach how the right goal has to be challenging but attainable, right? The right goal set up with the right measurement and accountability, can help transform your life, can get you to realize what you have inside, what everybody has, the ability to become a whole new person, get out of that victim mentality and understand that you have the power within you, and you can say whoever you want. You can identify that power with whatever you want to identify it with. For me, I identify that power with God. Right? I feel as though, and I believe that God lives in me. I believe God lives in everybody. So when I look at a person, I feel as though they have it within them to do the best that they can do, even if they're not doing it right then. And if they're not doing it, then it has to be uncovered, right? Like peeling the layers of an onion. We have to get to the core of, what the issues are, and deal with them and talk about them and resolve them and change them, and just develop and build together. So Get Up is a program about that. And I'm excited about that. There's a tail to it, to Get Up. It's actually Get Up and Get It. So the Get Up is, like I said, about the goals established to unlock your potential. The Get It is the tail end. So once you have the goals and unlock your potential, then you get IT, instant transformation. I believe in instant transformation. I don't believe that it's a process that has to take 8 weeks or 12 weeks or 24 weeks or 37 months. I changed the moment I changed. It was instant. And I remember the moment. I remember the moment of crying and looking at myself. And so I was in a county jail for a period of time because I was trying to fight my charges. And I was trying to get out on bail because you know, I had my sneakers still laced up. I think I had more run left in me until see, it's a difference when the local police lock you up and when them gold badges come. The feds, they change your whole perspective. Feds give out football numbers. Okay, you don't get like a couple months. Feel me? Okay, so I'm laying on a cot inside a county jail. I'm crying. I'm scared. I'm just been told that like I got $1 million bail. They would treat me like I was Al Capone, man. Like I was like, cause I was on the run for a little while. You know what I mean? I was dodging and dipping and dodging. So when they finally cuffed me up, it was like a big win for the locals. So I'm laying on the cot. I look up. Now I've been in this cell for now about 6 weeks, maybe. 6 weeks. And I'm used to getting out overnight. And I had lawyers on retainer, I had money in different accounts. So I'm used to like, I get knocked, I'm out. I ain't never sat down that long. I'm looking up on the ceiling of the cell, and scratched in the ceiling was a part of a psalm, and it said, "Be still and know that I am God." So that was telling me right then that I was going to sit for a while. I knew right then and there that like, yeah, I'm going to be still for a minute until I work on my relationship with God and I get right with that. When I get right with that, that's when I become free. It had nothing to do with my time. I experienced freedom while incarcerated because I had freedom of thought. I was able to understand and realize that I could elevate above this experience, and it was just a matter of doing my time, walking it down. When I came out, hit the street again, I was going to hit it as a different person. But I experienced freedom while incarcerated. For the first time, I felt free.
That's powerful.
Dang. Yeah. It's real talk though. It's real talk. So now, we have a new mission. I have a new mission. So I'm gonna read this to you real quick.
Oh yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
So our purpose now. So we believe in the power of the human spirit and its ability to transform and overcome limiting beliefs on a path to self-awareness. Our core values of empathy, humility, honesty, accountability, positivity, and perseverance are the fabric of our company culture. These values, when applied with our holistic coaching approach to health and wellness, ignite the realization of our infinite potential to become the best version of ourselves, allowing us to achieve permanent, life-changing results. That don't sound like no fitness studio, right? That don't sound like a gym where you're gonna go sweat and do some double legs. Right? So we have a different culture that we're creating and building here at Fast 3.0. And we're actually creating a movement called Fast Fit. So Fast Fit is the movement. And like our IG page is Get Fast Fit. Our IG page doesn't look like other fitness studios' Instagram pages. You won't see many workouts on there. You're not going to see that. You're going to see different stuff on there. You're going to see on how to get your mind right, how to get your kitchen right, how to get your body right. Those are our 3 pillars. It starts with the mind, though. You have to decide. You have to commit. And so our vision is to build a sustainable business consisting of a team that has embraced our core values. So we want to spread this amongst the masses, creating a culture that empowers us to provide the leadership needed to positively impact the community in which we serve. This impact will develop the confidence and loyalty needed to establish us as a trusted authority to lead a global transformation. So simply put, Dom, me and Vic, we're about to change the world.
Oh, I love it.
We're going to change it through one challenge at a time. So what we stumbled across was a way to attain our altruistic goals and our fiscal goals, right? And that is by serving others and helping others. So we participated in a fundraiser for the Special Olympics. We have an app that it's habit forming software. We put lessons into this app. So you can go into it like a 10-day challenge, a 14-day challenge. Every day you get a lesson, have accountability. You can get nutritional coaching, all this stuff through this app. So we had allow people to participate in a trial of this app once they made a donation to the Special Olympics. So $10 to $1,000 didn't make a difference. You get to participate in this 10-day challenge. We raised $1,500 in 9 days. It reaffirmed and solidified our belief that there are people out there that want to do good, right? That care about more things than themselves. So we got financial contributions, and people then came into this app, and then they got a chance to know us, understand who we are, what we do. So from a business perspective, it was a lead generator, right? It got people into our app. But bigger than that, it made us realize that this could be a way of doing business. You know, we could do many challenges. Now, challenges in the fitness world ain't nothing new, right? We all know that. But challenges this way is brand new. You know, like truly giving access without, I don't need your credit card on file. I don't need, I don't need this auto bill you after the 14-day period. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so over all that. I've been in this industry for a long time, all this gray hair. I've been doing this for a long time. I know all the ways of the fitness industry. I want to do it differently. We want to help people, truly want to help people, because there are many people that are in pain and are suffering because they don't have the knowledge and education or awareness of how to change. They just don't know. So I want all the people that are sick and tired of being sick and tired. I don't want the pretty people. I don't want the, I don't want the glamour in front of the mirror. I want some real, authentic, suffering folks that want a different life. And I believe you can get it through our 3 pillars: getting your mind right, getting your kitchen right, getting your body right.
Absolutely.
So
that was a lot of gems right there, brother. A lot of gems. So Chip, if anybody that wants to get in contact with you, follow you, where do we send them?
I would think that, our website is getchipfit.com. Getchipfit.com is the website. There's a contact us page on there. The website does not reflect, who we are now. The website was like pre-COVID. You're going to see group training and all that, but there's a contact us button, and we get that and we respond immediately. If you want to get the new version of us, hit our IG page, and it's at Get Fast Fit. Get Fast Fit, and you'll see kind of like the evolution between Fast 3.0 and the movement of Get Fast Fit. You'll see the difference between the two. You can always hit me on email, Coach Chip at getchipfit.com, Coach Chip at getchipfit.com. Hit me on the email. Definitely get back to you. And I think those are 3 easy ways to reach out.
Awesome. 3 easy ways, guys. Give them a follow, shoot an email, check out the site. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Chip, thank you so much for being on the show. And take care.
Bye.